Good morning, everybody. You tuned into Cragcore. Thank you for tuning in today. So, can I just ask you at this point to please just like the video and subscribe to the channel. It does help with the algorithms and stuff. So please, if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. It costs nothing, as I save a squirrel's life there by not running him over. We've all got to do our bit. A phrase that we've heard a lot over the past couple of years. We've all got to do our bit. Oh my God. I mean, you know, when you think about it, doing your bit just lately, you know, over the last couple of years, has quite literally meant do your bit to bring in totalitarianism and a fascistic regime. Because by going along with all these things, that's what's happened, isn't it? I mean, for context, it's the 24th of November 2021. Can you believe the year is nearly up? You know, it's about a month now until Christmas. It's a month until Christmas. When did this happen? So all over the world, people are suffering this totalitarian regime. And as we approach Christmas, I mean, some places, fucking hell, have you seen what's been going on in Australia? You know, the people in Australia that are in power, these government people, I can't believe. You know, if you were to 10 years ago watch the videos of these people speaking and addressing the public, and on these fucking news shows where they're saying, if you're anti-mandate, then you're anti-vaccine, and so on and so forth. And they're basically separating society and demonizing people being anti-things that they say you should be pro. If you'd gone back in time and said, look, this is what's going to be happening, people would have gone, fuck off, mate, you're fucking insane. That's CGI. That's not a real person saying that. They wouldn't believe you anyway, would they? They wouldn't though, would they? They wouldn't believe it. Somebody showed me, in fact, I was on Instagram, that was it. I was on Instagram this morning, I was having a flick through whilst, you know, I was having a poo. And, fucking hell. There was a collection of 10 photos that have been taken of people shopping whilst, you know, during the summer of, was it this year or last year? Oh my God. You know what? At the time, we all kind of accepted it when we saw somebody walking around with a bucket on their head. Didn't we? Or a fucking, like a bubble thing made out of a fucking plastic bubble. A plastic bottle. I mean, we all looked at it and thought it was a little bit strange. But because of the government propaganda and scaremongering and stuff, we were able to rationalise it at the very least, weren't we? We rationalised it and went about our daily business. But now, looking back, you know, since people have stopped with the whole face coverings thing, you know, for the most part, things are, you know, visually at least, on their way back to being normal. And you look back at these pictures and you are struck with this feeling of, holy shit, you know, were people really doing that? Again, if you went back 3 years, never mind 10, if you went back 3 years and said, look at these pictures, you know, in a couple of years' time, people are going to be doing this. If you went back to 2018, remember when everything was just normal? Everybody was just going about their daily business on a daily basis, people, if you'd have said in 2 years' time you're going to see a bloke walking around the supermarket just fucking doing his shopping with a fucking bottle on his head with a bit cut out the back so he can put it on, you'd have gone, fuck off, you're pulling my leg. If you'd have said that you would see a person walking around with a bucket and a slot cut out and then black bags taped, like refuse sacks taped to the inside so they drape down over the shoulders like a makeshift fucking scuba hat, you'd have gone, nah bro, I ain't falling for that. But in the year 2020 this was commonplace. People were doing it. People were getting fucking those containers, those storage boxes. I mean, the ones that you stack on top of each other when they're full. You put the lid on and then you stack another one on top. I mean, these things are opaque. They're not completely see-through. And yet people were fucking wearing them over their heads. Again, with plastic bags and stuff draped around the shoulders, to stop things getting in. I saw a picture of a woman. She had a sponge that you use to wash the dishes, fucking with an elastic band around her face, holding it over her mouth. My word, lordy, lordy. You know what? Again, if you'd have seen this in the last, in 2018, you'd have said, fuck off, man. I choose not to believe this. But then all of a sudden, oh my God, it became a reality. And people were doing these things. I would recommend anybody go back and look at these pictures, because it's enough to shock you into a state of mind that kind of promotes sanity at this point. Because it makes you reflect and say, well, you know what? Fucking hell. Did we really go that far? Into insanity. These people are quite literally insane. There is no other word for it. It is insane. Even if this fucking virus was as fucking severe as we were told, even if that's the case, then it's still insane to walk around with a fucking bucket on your head. Or a bottle with the fucking back cut out. It's insane. There's no other word for it. It's fucking insane. Because if that's going to stop the world's most deadliest virus, well then I think we're alright. People are walking around with bottles and fucking buckets on their heads. That'll save you. You don't need to worry about the world's most deadly fucking virus of our times. Just put a fucking bucket on your head with a little slot cut out, a couple of black bags, and you'll be sound. You're going to be absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Just go about your daily business. And if anybody doesn't do that, call them insane. Call them selfish. Because we want to take their rights away. Oh, fuck. I can't believe it. And with the whole Christmas vibe. I mean, like I said, we're a month away from Christmas. And what do you see on the newspapers here in the UK? We had on one of the front pages, I think it was on the Express, it had a picture of Queenie looking, all regal and stuff, and and basically the news, the headline said, "Boosters can save Christmas." Fucking hell. Now you see, this is another layer of insanity, in my humble opinion, because first and foremost, who has got the right? I mean, no, nobody's got the right. We already know that. Nobody's got the right to tell you to do something so you can have a Christmas. Absolutely not. That's a given. What makes these people think they've got the right? This is why I think that they're promoting insanity, because they themselves are insane. They're not being challenged, therefore it's a bit like somebody who's sitting in solitary confinement. Nobody's challenging their thought processes. So ultimately what's happening is their mind's just fucking going loopy. It's running amok, and there's nothing to keep it on the straight and narrow. So it's just going insane. And, fucking everybody is going along with it, because these people are fucking mad. Because they've got to be mad to think that they can say, by the way, you've got to do this thing. You've got to take an injection to have Christmas. Fuck you. That's what I'm saying. Fuck you. Because guess what? You're fucking mad if you think you've got the right to say this to people and to put it on the fucking newspapers. To put it out there as a fucking thing that's worth... I mean, what are newspapers? They're supposed to fucking report on the news. But yet at the minute, they're just fucking giving orders. I mean, when did it change? When did people start looking at the newspapers for fucking, their daily orders? Does this mean if you read The Sun and it says one thing on the front, you read The Express and it says that on the front, and then you read, I don't know, the Mail or something, and it says something else on the front, does this mean that we can all get away with doing different things now? Because different newspapers have a different, idea of what the world should be. Because if we're getting our orders from newspapers, fucking hell. You know what I want, don't you? I'll have a copy of the Viz, please. Cockney wanker. I mean, if we're taking our fucking orders on how to live our lives from, tabloids, then yeah, I'll have a copy of the Viz, please, or 2000 AD. Yeah, fuck it, 2000 AD, no problem. You want me to live my life like a newspaper? That's my choice. That's okay. Fuck it, we'll do it. We'll mandate it. But speaking of mandates, another insane thing that's been going on just lately. In Australia, they are pushing for the old double jab to be mandated. And they are saying to people that if you go against the mandate, even if you're vaccinated, if you disagree with the mandate, then you are therefore an anti-vaxxer. And they are demonizing people now that dare to speak against the narrative, that dare to speak against the fascistic fucking overrule. They are calling you out and they are criminalizing you. They're turning you into a criminal if you dare disagree. Because if they make it a law that you've got to do this and then you disagree with it because it's fucking very, very, very disagreeable what they're doing. If you then disagree with it, they are then able, since they've made it a law, to do so and to go along with it. They are saying then that you are a criminal and you are punishable by that law. And if you don't do it, if you don't stand up against this, they will make it law. And then, well, you can fill in the blanks. Guess what's going to happen? You'll be criminalised, which means then you can be punished for simply disagreeing with a very, very disagreeable thing. Remember Nazi Germany? I mean, come on, man. Remember Nazi Germany, man. And all of these people that are coming out saying, you can't relate this to Nazi Germany because what happened to the Jews and stuff was awful. Well, yeah, that's because nobody fucking stood up for the rights of the fucking Jews. Somebody was criminalising the Jews and was saying that these people needed to be fucking eradicated, and nobody said no. We're not trying to take anything away from the Jews here. What we're saying is, this situation that's happening right now is very similar to the build-up which eventually led to the decimation of the Jewish population, in Europe. So, fucking hell. And many other people, not just the Jews. Let's remember, the Polish, they were Catholics, but primarily. They were fucking completely decimated too. A lot of people died. Not just Jewish people. But what I'm saying is, the fascistic regime, the fucking Third Reich, was able to become a thing because nobody challenged it. So if you don't challenge this now, that's where we're fucking headed, man. We're headed there. Make no mistake. And I know that I come across, in a jokey fashion here, because I feel as though we've got to say these things. We've got to do these things sometimes in a light-hearted fashion, because otherwise it can be fucking depressing, and there's lots of mental health issues flying around. And I do personally believe that given that, we don't want to be adding to it, do we? And that's a lot of the reason why a lot of people don't want to actually look at these issues, because their mental health is already fragile, based on the stuff that's been imposed on them up until this point. Lockdowns and fucking losing their businesses, going into fucking massive amounts of debt and stuff. So their mental health, losing their sense of purpose, their mental health is already fragile, so they can't take any more. So nobody wants to fucking hear about these things because they just can't take it. And you know what? Fair enough, man. Fair enough, right? It's not nice. Hence, I try and add a little bit of humour to try and get the point across, because I think by looking at the stupidity of this situation, it does bring a person to a sense of realisation, because we're all being forced into this corner like a fucking stray dog. And I believe that eventually people will just snap like a stray dog would and lash out. And you've got to be careful with that. It's probably the only way out, but they're probably counting on it so they can invoke martial law as well. So we're kind of fucked if we do and we're fucked if we don't. But the thing is, do you want to go down swinging? Or do you just want to bend over and take it? That's my question. What do you do? What are we going to do? Are we going to allow somebody to say to us that we can have a Christmas? I mean, for fuck's sakes. Or are we just going to say, well, you know what? You can't take my right away, because it's my right to do as I please. I can celebrate Christmas should I please. I can celebrate Christmas even if I disagree with, the medical fascism that's being imposed on the world. And people go, this isn't a fucking global organisation. This can't be the New World Order. Well, I beg to differ. Because this is happening globally. This is a fucking orchestrated attack on freedom. This is an orchestrated attack on sovereignty. It's an orchestrated attack on the population of planet Earth, the free population of planet Earth, with the little bit of freedom that we had left. Because I do truly fucking solemnly believe that we were never really truly free anyway. We were all slaves to some degree. And now we've woken up to that and we go, hold on a minute. I'm going to be a conscientious objector here. And so you should be. Come what may, so you should be. Object. All it takes to change your consciousness, to fight these people, is to change your consciousness and say, I object to this. I will no longer be a slave. I object. I object to this regime. I object to fascism. I object to the way that the world is being pushed. And I stand for my rights and my fellow fucking human beings' rights on planet Earth. And I will do what it takes. I will do what is required of me to stand up for those rights. And guess what? All that's required of you is to acknowledge that it's going on and to object. To fucking say you object and to actually object. That's all it takes. It's not a lot. You don't have to fucking go and buy yourself an assault rifle. got a killing spree. You don't have to go and get yourself a machete, and start fucking hacking politicians to death. No, you don't. You don't have to do all that. You don't even have to organise and, petition outside the Houses of Parliament. Because guess what? These people haven't listened to us yet. They're not going to fucking listen to us ever. So if you go outside the Houses of Parliament, what are they going to do? They just won't go to work that day. And if they do, they'll get the police, the fucking, the mob to protect them. They don't care. They're not going to listen to you. You can stand outside the Houses of Parliament until you're fucking blue in the feet. No one really fucking cares. Just object. Just stop following the rules. Just stop. That's all you've got to do. That's all you have to do. Simple as that. Take your own power back. It's easy. There is no big fucking secret to winning this war. It's quite simply fucking object. Say no. And then act on it. Fucking fuck's sakes. Or we will live in a world where every single year they will say, in order to save Christmas, like it's hanging in the balance. Fucking hell. Insane is what it is. Right. I think I've said enough. So, I'm going to have to sign off here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time to spend your time with me on this very glorious day. And just remember, please, just be thoughtful, care about others, and object to the fascist regime that is being brought in. This is Crag Course signing off. Thank you very much for the likes and the shares and the subscribes. I thoroughly appreciate it. Thank you for viewing the videos. And please, again, if you could do so, please just click like. It costs nothing. Your phone is already in your hand. Just click like, and please subscribe to the channel, so on and so forth. It will help the channel out. If you like the content, it's a given, right? Thank you very much for being on this journey with me over these past couple of years. I've thoroughly enjoyed fucking ranting and raving and doing my thing. I thoroughly have enjoyed it, and I appreciate everybody that has taken the time to watch these videos. So on that note, this is Crag Course signing off. I'm going to wish love and peace, as usual, to all things everywhere. Oh, and by the way, just as a final point, if you want to have some form of education in regard to the deeper state of affairs with regards to what's going on in the world, what has been going on in the world, there is a very, very good channel on YouTube that I can recommend you to, and that is Dark Journalist. Go and have a look, because I've been looking at a lot of his stuff just lately, and I've got to tell you, some of it's mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. There's a guy on there called Joseph Farrell, Dr. Joseph Farrell, Catherine Austin Fitz. He interviews these people, and I'll be honest with you, the videos are absolutely riveting. Some of the information about the mystery schools and stuff like this is up there with some of the best stuff I've ever come across. After being about 20 years into looking into the corruption in the world with regards to the state of the government and so on. There's another lady, her name eludes me, and I'm really sorry about that, because I'd really like to shout your name out. She's a psychic woman. Fuck's sakes, I can't remember her name. But out of the ones I have named, you'll know if you go and watch those videos by process of elimination who I mean. I'm trying to fucking remember here by just prattling. And Gigi Young, that's the one. Go and look at her website as well. Look at Joseph Farrell's website. That's geezerdeathstar.com, ggyoung.com, and the Catherine Austin Fitz. I'm not quite sure of her website, but you can find her and her videos with Dark Journalist on YouTube. Go and have a look at his channel. It's absolutely fascinating. And on that note, this is finally Crag Course signing off. Love and peace to all things everywhere. Peace.